Hello dear students, I am BV Heramet. Today we want to discuss next part of the atoms. See, in this part, we are going to explain the Rutherford atomic model. So that is on the basis of, we already learnt in the last class, that is Rutherford alpha scattering experiment and its results. Based on those results, Rutherford argued that to deflect these alpha particles, see, so according to alpha scattering experiment, the most of the alpha particles are passes through the gold foil without any deviation. So the very few, that means 0.14% of the alpha particles are deflect more than 1 degree, and 1 in 8000 alpha particle which is deflect more than 90 degree. These are the results of the alpha scattering experiment. On the basis of this alpha scattering experiment, the Rutherford argued to deflect the alpha particles backwards, see, like this, to backwards or to deflect more than 90 degree, so it must experiences a large repulsive force between alpha particle and the nucleus, and this force could be provided if the greater part of the atom of the and so along with the greater part of the atom, actually that says the greater part of the atom is made up of empty space. According to him, the total mass of the atom and the total positive charge of the atom, which are concentrated tightly at the center, so it is called as nucleus. That's why the greater part of the atom is empty space, made up of empty space. Then, because of the total positive charge and mass is concentrated at the center, so this alpha particle which experiences a large repulsive force. Why means, see here, alpha particles we can also call it as positively charged nucleus, helium atom. So actually alpha particles are positive charged particles, and nucleus also, which having a positively charged one. That's why positive and positive charge like charges are repulsive takes place. That's why this alpha particle is deflected and which experiences a large force of repulsion. If the incoming alpha particles could get a very closer to the positive charge, see, so these incoming alpha particles which is very closer to the nucleus, then that is here, without any penetrating through the this gold foil which is deflected, then it will experiences a large repulsion. Such a close encounter would result in the large deflection of the alpha particle. That is because these reasons. Thus, Rutherford assumptions could explain the large angle scattering of the alpha particles, that is due to repulsion between alpha particle and nucleus. So that's why, from these there are some following essential features of the Rutherford nuclear atomic model. The next, on the basis of these results, he concluded some essential features about the atom. Hence, this is, he can call it as, actually this is a Rutherford atomic model which explains the following features, in which the first thing is atom has a small positively charged nucleus. See, atom has small positively charged nucleus. All the positive charge of the atom and mass of the, total most of the mass of the atom are concentrated at the nucleus. See, the total, already explained that the total mass and the total charge of the positive charge of the atom is concentrated at the center. So this is the first postulate or first feature of the Rutherford atomic model. Then second one, the dimension of the nucleus are negligibly small as compared to the overall size of the atom. So that most of the volume occupied by an atom is actually empty space. Just I told that. So the total volume of the, in the, as compared total volume, the nucleus is very small, it is negligible as compared with the, so total volume of the atom. Then from that it is concluded that the total space around the nucleus in the atom, which is empty space, this is totally made up of empty space. The total mass and charge is concentrated at the center. This is the second postulate, a second assumption. Then come to the third one. The atomic nucleus is surrounded by a certain number of electrons which are negatively charged one, and as the atom is electrically neutral, the total negative charge on the electrons surrounding the nucleus is equal to the total positive charge on the nucleus. See, so the total positive charge is concentrated at the center here. To the equal charge, there are number of electrons are revolving around the nucleus. That's why the total charge or net charge of the atom is electrically neutral. The charge of positive charge of on the nucleus and the negative charge of the electrons, these two are cancel each other. The net charge on the atom is electrically neutral. That is a third feature. The fourth one, the electron is in the atom. So actually electrons in the atom revolves around the nucleus in a various circular orbits. The centripetal force required for the revolution of electron, which is provided by the electrostatic force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus. As see here, so according to third postulate, see, according to third one, so totally this is the positively charged nucleus and electrons which are negatively charged one, which are revolving around the nucleus in a particular orbits like this. Then so fourth postulates or fourth feature says the charge of the electron revolving around the nucleus, which neutralizes the, so charge, that is a positive charge on the nucleus. That's why the net charge of the atom is electrically neutral. See, it says the electron in the atom revolving around the nucleus in the various orbits. Then the centripetal force, next one is centripetal force is required to revolve the electron. See, so this is the total positive charge, and these are the electrons which are revolving around the nucleus with a centripetal force. See, which are revolving with the centripetal force, and centripetal force which is provided by the electrostatic force of attraction. In the first chapter you studied about the concept of electrostatic force. The electrostatic force may be attractive or repulsive. See, so the electrostatic force is attractive if the charges are unlike. Then as it is like a nucleus is positive charged one and electron is a negative charged one. Here these two charges are unlike charges. Unlike charges are attract each other. That's why the electron is a negatively charged one which is revolving around the nucleus. Then that is revolving with the centripetal force which is provided by the electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electron. This is the next postulate or next feature of the Rutherford atomic model. So then the Rutherford experiment suggests that the size of the nucleus and the size of the atom. According to him, the size of the nucleus to be about 10 to the power minus 15 meter to 10 to the power minus 14 meter. So this is the approximate size of the nucleus. And the size of the atom is about 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Therefore, see, the most of the atom is made up of empty space in which electrons are revolving around the nucleus. With the atom being the largely empty, totally empty, the most, that's why the most of the alpha particle passes through the thin gold foil without any deviation. Then, however, when the alpha particle come near to the nucleus, so there is an intense electric field. The intense electric field there scatters it. Actually, that scatters the alpha particles because of the intensity of the repulsive force is more. Then the atomic electron which have a very small mass compared to the alpha particle, so then have a negligible effect on the alpha particles compared to the alpha particle. The nucleus has a large mass, hence it can be assumed to be remains practically at rest. See, so it means that, see, so this, for example, this is an alpha particle which is traveling towards the nucleus at particular distance, so that retraces its path because of the repulsive force. So according to this one, so the mass of the nucleus is large as compared to the alpha particle. That's why, so alpha particle which retraces its initial path because of the, so its heavy mass, so this alpha particle only retraces its initial path. So that's why the nucleus is same place at the as it is at rest. So this is about the Rutherford atomic model. So then one more term, see, the alpha particle trajectory. The next concept is about the trajectory, nothing but, so how the alpha particle path is there. So whether which is moving without any deviation through the gold foil, or which is deflected slightly, or deflected a bit, or deflected maximum, that is nothing but more than 90°. So what about its trajectory? What about its path, which is explained in this concept here? See, the alpha particle is nothing but it is a helium nucleus with its charges plus 2e. When the alpha particle is at a distance r from the nucleus of the charge, it's that is plus Ze, and electrostatic force due to the nucleus, that is given as like this. See, before that, so I'm explaining once again. See here, this is an alpha particle where, for example, see here there is an alpha particle of its charge is plus 2e, and which is moving towards the nucleus at particular distance r. Wherever you can consider at particular distance r from the nucleus of nucleus charge is taken as a plus Ze, there is a electrostatic force of repulsion is developed on the alpha particle. The force of repulsion is acting on the alpha particle due to nucleus, because nucleus is positively charged one and alpha particle is also positively charged one. So positive charge repulsion takes place. That's why the electrostatic force of repulsion takes place, that is due to positively charged nucleus. Then according to Coulomb's law, so electrostatic force of repulsion, the force that is F is equal to, so 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square. That is a general formula. As per that, here F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught is a constant. Q1, that is nothing but charge of the, so first particle, that is alpha particle, whose its charge is plus 2e. So wrote here. The another one is, so Q2, nothing but charge of the nucleus. So charge of the nucleus is also Ze. So divided by r square, where r is a distance between two charges. The consider an alpha particle one. So there are some alpha particles are present here. This is a beam of alpha particle or group of alpha particles. See, in which first one, so the alpha particle number 1 having kinetic energy that is equal to, we know the kinetic energy formula, that is half is equal to, yeah, so AK is equal to half mv square. So at a large distance from the nucleus, moving directly towards the nucleus. As the alpha particle approaches the nucleus, its kinetic energy goes on decreases. As kinetic, see here, so at somewhere at large distance, the particle alpha particle having kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, and as move towards the nucleus, the kinetic energy goes on decreases. The kinetic energy decreases means obviously its potential energy increases. See, as kinetic energy decreases, its potential energy increases. when the alpha particle is at a particular distance d. See here, this is the particular distance. This alpha particle number 1, when which reaches this point which is at a distance d from the nucleus, the its kinetic energy is completely equal to 0 at that particular point. So the maximum potential energy is there. That's why this distance d is the called as a distance of closest approach. At this distance, the initial kinetic energy of the alpha particle, so that is completely converted into potential energy. Afterwards, because of the repulsion force of the alpha particles, it retraces its path, initial path. In other words, it is scattered by 180 degree. The potential energy of the alpha particle at this particular point d from the nucleus is. So we know that. So in the second chapter, so electrostatic potential. So U is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R. So that is the general formula as per that. So potential energy is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Q1 means charge of the alpha particle, that is 2e, and charge of the nucleus is Ze. One is Ze, another one is 2e. Hence that is equals to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught to Ze square divided by d. Since so loss in the kinetic energy is equal to the gain in potential energy. So we know that energy remains constant. That is in the case of conservation of energy like this. So here kinetic energy losses means definitely there should be a gain in potential energy. Hence K is equal to, so we know that kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So that is 2 Ze square divided by d, that is energy is given here, because so total potential energy formula is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 Ze square divided by d. That is possible because the potential energy obtained when the total kinetic energy is lost here. That's why the total kinetic energy value also is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 Ze square divided by d. So this kinetic energy is equal to potential energy, that is due to loss in kinetic energy equal to gain in potential energy. Then our d value is equal to, so d is equal to, so just so d transfer to the LHS side, then k to the RHS side, then it becomes d is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 Ze square divided by k. This is equation number so 12.1. In this case, the consider alpha particle 2. The next one is alpha particle 2. See here, this is an second alpha particle. So this alpha particle 2 approaching the nucleus. As it approaches towards the nucleus, a small impact parameter b. See here. So as alpha particle 2, its number is 2, as which is closer towards the nucleus. So with some impact parameter, see the perpendicular distance, see this b is representing here, that is a perpendicular distance between the path of the alpha particle and its to from the center of the nucleus. See, this is a center of nucleus. So from the nucleus, from the center of the nucleus to so path of the alpha particle. So the perpendicular distance between these two, you can take it as impact parameter, which is represented by b. See, impact parameter nothing but it is a perpendicular distance between the initial path of the alpha particle and the nucleus. So this distance you can take it as a impact parameter. Then consider an alpha particle, second alpha particle approaching the nucleus with a small impact parameter b. Because of the electrostatic repulsion, so the alpha particle scattering to a large angle which is more than 90 degrees. See, this alpha particle is scattered more than 90 degree because of the large force of repulsion. Then next go to third particle. So here the third particle approaches the nucleus with a large impact parameter b, then scattering through a small angle. See, the third alpha particle which coming closer towards the nucleus with a large impact parameter. See, as compared to the second one, its impact parameter is large, and which is deflect a small angle. Then now from these we can observe the trajectory of the alpha particle 2 and 3 will be parabola. See, so these two are the trajectory or path of these alpha particles are parabola. So that is a parabolic path. Finally, again one more definition, that is impact parameter B. It is nothing but it is a perpendicular distance from the center of the nucleus to initial direction of the alpha particle. See, so it is the perpendicular distance between center of the nucleus to initial path of the or initial direction of the alpha particle. So when it is at infinite distance from the nucleus, a smaller value of impact parameter, the larger is the value of scattering angle. If the impact parameter value is small, see, if the B value is small, its scattering is more. Here B value is large, obviously scattering is less. Again B value is less, so B value more, then scattering is again less, like this. So the impact parameter is large, then obviously angle of scattering is less. Then if the impact parameter is 0, then scattering angle is 180 degree, like this. So first one in the alpha particle, so if the impact parameter is 0, see here, this is a nucleus and there is no impact parameter here, that's why its scattering angle is 180 degree, it retraces its path. So this is about the concept of impact parameter, and its formula is B is equal to capital D by 2 cot theta by 2, where D is distance of closest approach and theta is a scattering angle, B is impact parameter. Thank you.